Diabetes. There are many things that you can do to help minimise the effects of diabetes if you are diagnosed with diabetes. Obviously nutrition is a big part, overall lifestyle is a big part, cardiovascular exercise is a big part. But one of the exercises that a lot of people don't realise, which is very, very beneficial, is strength training. I remember chatting to a colleague of mine, a doctor in research, and his whole focus is to research the effects of strength training on blood sugar levels and diabetes. Because the challenge with diabetes is that you're left with high blood sugar levels or high amounts of or concentrations of glucose floating around the bloodstream. And the glucose molecule is a large molecule, and if there's too many in the bloodstream, those large molecules starts to cause deterioration on the inner lining of the arteries and the blood vessels in the body, and that deterioration can lead to complete damage, and therefore that will affect the blood supply to certain muscles and tissues and organs in the body. That leads to breakdown, organ breakdown, muscle death, and obviously that could lead to blindness, amputation, and all sorts of not so nice diseases that you tend to get, or not so nice side effects. However, if you look at where is glucose burnt off, well, it's burnt off in the muscle. So the more muscle you have, or the higher metabolic rate your muscle contributes to your overall metabolism, the greater it's going to have on lowering your blood sugar levels. So strength training is one of the main interventions that has a significant effect on your muscle density and your muscle tissue. So yes, you do cardiovascular training, and that raises your metabolism for that time during the exercise. But once you finish the exercise, your metabolic rate will tend to come back down, and it goes back to the same revs that it was, like revs in a car, or the idling in a car that it was beforehand. But the beautiful strength training is that strength training, yes, your metabolism goes up while you're strength training, because then what happens, your body will lay down more muscle tissue, make your muscles stronger, increase your muscle density, and that in itself makes the engine in the car a little bit bigger, and takes it from maybe a 4-cylinder to a 6-cylinder, or a 6-cylinder to an 8-cylinder, which burns off more fuel while you're driving and while you're idling, not doing anything. So what happens is your metabolic rate goes up, and it goes up higher when you're exercising, and it's also up higher all the other hours of the day when you're doing nothing, which means you're having a higher burn off of blood glucose, or higher burn off of your blood sugars. So if you want to really get a hold of that control of your diabetes, yes, good eating plan, good lifestyle plan, good cardiovascular, but make sure you put some strength training in there. And these days you only need to do it once a week with good quality, probably under the supervision of a good personal trainer to get the best out of your training, and that's going to increase the revs of your engine or your muscle, and that's going to burn off glucose 24/7 when you're exercising, when you're sleeping, when you're resting, when you're walking, no matter what, because it's the muscle that is the clearinghouse for your blood sugars and your glucose. And that would be no cow poo.